Hello, hello, hello. We're back. We're back. Remember earlier we had an interview with our tester and she did a fabulous job, and we have another great opportunity for you tonight. We have another person, a great friend of mine, childhood friend actually, I think when we were kids. Anyway, he'll tell you about that. And he's going to talk to you about the book, Ages Transformation, that's coming out. I'm going to have him introduce himself, and we're just going to chat. I have my tea. You can have your water, but these are just friends talking about the book and talking about the Lord at the same time. So, hi, David. Tell us who you are. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'll give you the short story.
Okay.
I've always loved playing piano. Of all the things that I've done in life, that's been the most gratifying. It's given me the best blessings of all. When I was age 5, I knew I wanted to play the piano. At age 9, I took my first piano lesson, and at age 10, I was playing for the church, and I've been playing for the church ever since. Right now, me and my son, we have been doing a internet business with my wife ever since 2007. I've been was married to possibly the most beautiful, gorgeous lady of all time, and she passed away 2 years ago. Would have been 33 years. But I tell you, life was good, and life is still good. And I just want to thank God, and I want to thank you for this opportunity to come on board and do this. I'm a little nervous, you might be able to tell, but I thank you for this opportunity. I'm so proud of you, of what God is doing for your life, and giving you this opportunity. It's something else.
You know, God is truly amazing, David. And if you're nervous. This is probably going to just go away in just a second. Now that you've gotten that out, you've said so many wonderful things. And I want you to come back to it, because we want to talk a little bit about that experience and how it connected you with the storyline. But I also want to tell everybody that when David and I became Facebook friends, I started reading your posts.
Okay.
And they were insightful, they were encouraging. And I thought to myself, I never knew he was a writer, but I didn't know as much about you, but I did know your depth of writing. And that was a blessing to me. And people were responding, looking for your writing every day or throughout the week. I don't know how often you posted, but that's what really got me in tune to the fact that David is a writer.
Well, you know, God will validate what He tells you to do, and just like the music, I knew at age 5 I wanted to do that. At age 13, I knew I wanted to be a writer, but I didn't really do a whole lot of things. Over the years, I kind of dabbled in writing, wrote some college papers, wrote some papers in high school, and I got a lot of good feedback about it, but I really didn't do anything. And about 2 or 3 years ago, God said, "You've got some gifts." And I'm only speaking of 2 gifts right now, the music and the writing, but He said, "You got some gifts, and you need to develop them." Yeah. And so that's what I started doing, especially with the writing. And the more that I started writing, the easier it got. But what I started noticing was what you were talking about. People who were starting to send feedback, said, "Man, this is awesome." They were saying stuff like, "You need to put these thoughts into a book." Now, I didn't know that we were gonna connect about a year or so ago,
right? And
I found out you were a writer, and part of what was going on was because I wrote a lot about Paula. It helped. Yes. It helped to help with the healing. And so I wrote about that. I wrote about my music experiences. I wrote about people that I admired, and then I found out you were right. And I said, "Oh boy, a kindred spirit to talk to."
Kindred spirit. Amen. And that's the amazing thing about God. So he's getting ready not only to make sure that Adria's transformation in my book gets where it needs to be, he's also opening up the window and the door for you, and even your email. Your email name tells me a lot of what he's going to do for you if you are obedient. And I'm sure you are. But those posts, keep them coming, because I think that is really important. Reading those posts is what gave me the idea that I should ask you to become a test reader. When you are writing something, it's your baby. So when you put it out there, you have to trust that people are gonna, kind of treat it well, and not mistreat it. Basically, that's the best way to say it, or receive it. I did not intend for this to become a Christian love story. Someone had asked me to write my autobiography. It was a tough time in my life, tough. Yeah. And I wasn't really feeling the autobiographical piece of it. But someone said some things to me, and I just sat down at the keyboard. I've always written, like you said, papers in school. I've always written business documentation. I've always done that. That was a part of my job forever. But to sit down and start writing a story that basically is about life, so most of it is true, but with the fiction overlay, is all God.
That was the thing that I loved when I found out that you had started writing. And you remember, before I read the beginnings of your book, you shared that short story with me.
I did.
You shared that short story. Oh my goodness, Paula! I the thing that was so enduring about it. We met through as young kids through music. My family sings, your family sings, but I didn't really meet your family first. I met you and Kippy through the Youth in Action.
Youth in Action. Yay!
And the day that I met you guys for the first time, the Youth in Action, in fact, my brothers and sister were singing on the group with you all, and you guys were singing the song "Changed." Oh my goodness, that song tore me up. And I said, and then I got to know some of the rest of you, you and some of the other members, and then I said, well, the thing that back in those days, you were kind of, I don't want to say shy.
Quiet, maybe.
Quiet, reserved, maybe.
Reserved.
You had a beautiful smile, but it was hard to get to know you then, and I didn't know why. And when I read the short story, I said, okay, 10-minute relationship.
10-minute relationship.
And as I read the 6 or 8 pages of that short story, I said I learned more about Paula in those 8 pages than of all the time that we had known each other. Because
it told you a lot. Yeah, I did, and it told you a lot about my personality and how my personality became my personality.
Yeah, and said, I mean, she put on paper what she probably would have never shared in a private conversation. And the power of word, the power of to be able to put your thoughts into a format where other people can see and feel who you are. And then there's a lot of people that can relate to who you are when you share yourself.
Yeah. And that's amazing, because the 10-minute relationship was actually a part of an anthology that my niece, it inspired me to be a part of. Yeah. And I didn't know what to write about. I'm like, what am I going to say? But when you get really quiet and you sit down and talk to the Lord, and you realize, because the name of it was Church Girls. I was talking about the resiliency of church girls. And when I started writing it, I just felt like I just needed to just speak.
Yeah.
Just write. And it was just amazing for me how it turned out. And so I'm thinking, David, just like you, I'm thinking like myself and other people, we've seen glimpses of God doing things in our lives, and we've responded, and then we step back and go, how did that happen? Because he wanted it to, and we were open to it. So I'm really grateful. So I reflected on all the other things that I had written, and I thought, well, there have been tidbits of me writing along the way, but nothing like this. This is truly, totally outside of the box, but I'm grateful for it. I'm really grateful because I feel like it's reaching another part of me, and everybody wants to know who am I in the novel? Who am I in the manuscript? And I said, well, probably a combination of many things, of many personalities, many people. But if you know me well, you know that female character reminds most people of myself at some point, especially when I was young.
You know what, too? I found about that's so interesting about writing is people get to identify and see parts of themselves in the characters that you or I may write, or even the stories of real people. But I'm gonna tell you an interesting story, a true story. I just learned about a month ago. One of the persons that follows me regularly on my writings, he told my brother. He said you need to talk. You need to talk to David. And that's not the part I want to take, because I'm not. It's not about making things about to build me up. But what really built me up was this. This same brother who was talking about me to my brother, his children were saying to him, "Dad, you've got stories of your own that you need to write." So, not only through writing do we have the God gives us the power to make other people feel things, and teach important lessons, but we have to have the power to inspire other writers and help other writers. So once I get I'm helping you in your book. I'm the Lord's blessing me to write.
I'm hearing it being spoken. I can hear it.
Well, he's blessed me to write, and then I'm going to help this fella.
That's right. You're gonna do it together, and that's called evangelism.
Yeah,
that's called evangelism. When people see the gift, and it stirs itself up in them.
Yeah,
that's called evangelism.
Yeah.
So that's the gift that he asked us to use to help other people get their message out, other people get their life story out. That's amazing. That's an amazing story. And I'm sure that even this interview is going to stir somebody up, because they're going to look and say, wait, well, is that David? You know how our people are.
Yeah.
I'm encouraged. They'll be encouraged because of it. So, I have to ask you a question.
Okay.
About the book.
Uh-huh.
Someone said the book was very, very believable.
Yes.
What does that mean to you? It was believable.
Believability is realness. It has ability. It has. If you were. This is not the kind of story that it's a heroes and villains type of story. This is real everyday life, dealing with people. And what I love about this book that makes it so believable, it opens up the Christian area of relationships, something that we Christians don't talk about. We don't talk about relationships. We talk about coming to church, praising the Lord, and all the things that go along with that. But we don't talk about the living part. We don't talk about relationships. And this book not only deals with a couple, it deals with it. There are other things in it. It deals with family. There are family conflicts in it. And I love at the way I love the way that the Douglas and Adria relationship. I found that interesting.
Yeah.
People don't believe that a man and a woman can have a relationship, and let's just say that, and it not be sexual.
Absolutely, and you hit the nail on the head. And I was so glad I was going to send you there. I was so glad you were going to say that. And I think it's because we're not taught.
We're not. We're not.
Just to trust somebody enough to have a conversation and just be friends and be a good resource for each other. But we're not taught that.
Now realize this though. Realize this. Douglas wants a relationship. He tells her. He takes the risk of telling her.
Yeah.
But he already know. Somehow he already knows that she doesn't want that for them, and he accepts that.
Right.
Because any real good friend, whether your friend is a male or female,
you better say that.
You want the best for that person.
That's right. That's right.
And if you're loving like for instance, if a man's loving a woman or a woman loves a man, and if you're friends first, and it doesn't, that's why friendship should always come first.
Friendship should always come first.
And I'm not talking about couples. You should be friends. You should be friends with your coworkers. You should be friends with. Now I know I'm gonna get some argument about. I'm your daddy. I'm your mom. I'm not your friend.
Right.
But and I understand that. But at some point, my dad became my friend. It didn't start out. He started out with my daddy, but he became my friend.
But if you understand the true concepts of friends and being able to relate to each other in a way where you want the best for you and to be able to share events, then that's going to happen and should happen to you and people that are close to you in your life.
And that's what Douglas wants for Adria.
Right. Okay.
He would like that relationship, but he wants above all for her to be happy. He's just as real telling her feelings, and that's real. Mm-hmm. But he's also just as real telling her I'm happy, and he's the one get about it. Well, I'm telling you, I don't want to tell you.
I'm gonna tell you what I do know. I'm glad you said that, because now the listeners are gonna do this, like, because I feel that as Christians, one of our greatest deficits is not knowing how to be friendly.
There's no textbook. There's no. There's a lot of good teaching in the Word of God. But sometimes I don't know whether we're afraid, and mostly of it is because I think we don't know. Like you said, we haven't been taught.
You don't know how. You haven't been taught. And you don't, and the reality of it is there's a well-roundedness that we can have, because you need to have a circle of people in your corner. And thank you for putting that plug for the book. You did a great job. There's a circle of people that we need that's a support system.
Yeah. That's another element of this book. And
there's a support system. And there are a lot of people that are going through things today, especially when they went through COVID. They found out how big of a support system they really had, or they found out the absence of the support system.
I watched a movie called Fireproof. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but in it, it's a beautiful movie about a couple who fall apart and then find God. Well, the husband finds him first, and he begins to make the change, and she starts seeing it. But their support systems are as different as apple and oranges, because he's got a great support system, and she's got her support system is, he's a dog. I mean, stuff like that. You know how you girls get.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Well,
yeah. I mean, just let's be real. That's terminology.
how you girls get sometimes, sometimes, and I have to say, us men, we we do deserve it.
Sometimes you do.
Hey, I'm a man, and I can say that. Sometimes we do it, but there are a few good men out there, and then there are a few men like to star that movie where he's basically a good man, but that's not good enough. He doesn't have a relationship with God, and he doesn't know anything about his relationships. His support comes through his father and his co-worker. And what I love about your book is both Adria
you can call her
and
name.
Bryson.
You can call his name.
They have support.
They have support.
They have support.
And I think in everything that we're saying that touches my heart the most is the fact that when you got a support system, you can accomplish some things.
And this is godly support too.
Yes.
On top of that, you can have a support system, but if you're going through a divorce, you don't want to talk to another divorced couple to get your act back together.
That's true.
You want to talk to somebody who may have had some struggles in their marriage, but they still got it together.
Yeah.
They're still hanging in. That's who you go to for support and for advice.
Yeah. And I'm going to share a little bit more, and then we're going to talk, because I got to talk about a picture that I love.
Oh my goodness!
I wish we could share it, but one of the things that one of the characters said to this couple was, "Have you had your first fight?"
Oh yeah.
Because you need to have your first fight first, and then the female response, you need to have two. Because you need to really see how you feel after the second one. Who tells you that?
Yeah.
In real life.
But it's so real. You need to have that.
You need to say, because that's when you show a side of yourself. Yeah. Anybody can be okay when everything is lovely and flowers and are blooming and everything's happy. But your true character many times comes out when you are angry.
Yeah.
And hurt.
Yeah.
So those are the kinds of things that are in the book, I think, that can really bless people, because they're like, oh no, don't get married yet until you have your argument and get through it. And I'm grateful for that. Now, I gotta talk to you about this picture.
Oh,
and I know. I wish we could show it.
I think I know.
Maybe at some point. Remember, I had the video where I asked, who taught you how to love? And you responded. But there's a picture of your mom and your dad. I don't know where the picture was taken. That's not important. But their posture and the way they're hanging out with each other, I want that for everybody. It speaks volumes as to what true love really is.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And every time I look at it, I'm like,
yeah,
so cool. I wish that for everybody. That is one of the, and I want you to take that picture, and I want you to do whatever you need to do with it. But it is what, I don't know who took the picture. I don't know where it is, but it is an amazing story.
And that's an answer to it. And when you asked the question in one of your early videos, who taught you how to love? Those two. I'll tell you right now, it was those two who taught me how to love. All we had to do was watch them. Mm-hmm. All we had to do was watch them. Mama loved herself some Earl, I'll tell you.
And vice versa.
And he loved her some cat.
So I know you posted it several times.
Yeah.
But I want them to go on your Facebook and because it's out there. I want them to see that picture. I know you have Facebook friends, but every time you post that picture, you get all these responses.
Oh yeah.
Because that is the epitome of what love looks like.
Yeah.
What most people forget, they say it, but they forget it. God is love.
Yeah.
And He created love.
Absolutely.
What happened when He gave it to us is that we kind of sort of didn't know what to do with it. And we needed to go back to him and say, how's this love supposed to be? How are we supposed to interact with each other? What are we supposed to say to each other? What are we supposed to do? Well, when you go back to the word, he'll tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Forgiveness. I mean, he lays it out really nice.
Yeah, he does.
So we have to learn as people how to care about each other.
Yeah.
That's what the book is about to me.
Yeah.
And that's the message I think that God wants to deliver. Yeah. Do you agree with that?
I do. They have both. You're dealing with two young people. They strayed away from God early. Mm-hmm. They came back, but before they came back, they made mistakes because of the straying. But when they came back, they built that relationship with God first. Mm-hmm. Then second, they started seriously thinking about, I want a life partner.
Yeah.
And I want a life partner who loves God. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And who I can love and give all of me to. And so when they go through the struggles, as people were reading this book, they have decided, no matter, I don't like what's going on. Mm-hmm. I wish I hadn't gotten into the situation, but as far as their love for one another, they're devoted. They're there to stay.
So that has to be something that is taught, I guess, because it seems to be really hard for some people to love. And a lot of people, I will say, at a young age, they are hurt. Yeah. So when you are hurt by love and you don't heal, you don't have a coach to help you heal, we don't talk about the healing process. Sometimes you don't understand how to push through that to keep moving on. I'm hoping that this will encourage someone to keep moving forward. There's a lot of real ugliness in the world right now. I didn't understand why it would be a Christian romance. I know I'll probably get a lot of people going, what? Until they read it. Yeah. And they realize that it's real and it's about life. And it's something that I think people can relate to.
It's so much about life, and it fills a hole that is not often being filled, and that it deals with the complexities sometimes. It deals with the different aspects of relationships between a man and woman. We don't go to church. We don't go to church just to be saved, though that's the main goal. and we got to reach, and we have to reach others. That's the other main goal.
Yeah.
But you also got to realize that God ordained the family. He ordained marriage. So if it's just important to know how to be saved, but it's also just as important to know how to be a father, be a mother, be a husband, be a mother, be a husband, be a wife. Get down with this, be a lover. That's part of it too. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you got to know, and these things are not taught enough. They're not taught enough. In our old church, our bishop would get together with the men and talk to them. The mother of our church, she would get together with our ladies. And I told the mother one time in front of the church, I said, "Mother, you did a great job, because my wife, the teachings that you taught, she's doing them. She's doing them, and it's been a blessing to us."
How about that? That's the sharing.
That's the sharing.
What if you don't have a mother figure that can sit down and talk to you? You're kind of lost.
You sure?
What if you don't have that father figure you can talk to? You're kind of lost. Yeah. So if anything, keep continuously having a platform where someone can coach you.
Yeah.
And counsel you and be real with you and talk to you. You're exactly right. the church is supposedly be where families should grow.
Yeah.
Where families interact. The church is full of families where they should interact and learn how to love and how to work through scenarios and situations.
From my father, we learned how to be providers for our families, and to take care of our wives. Mm-hmm. From my mother, she just straight out told us, boys, keep your pants up. and Darlene, keep your dress down. But she taught us more than that. She said, that's the funny part of it. But he said, respect, ladies.
Yeah.
And
she probably said a whole lot more than that, because there's a why. There's a why behind all of that. There's a why. My mother's been deceased for years. A long time. Part of the reserve that you saw was a woman, a little girl in grief.
Yeah.
She was in the middle of grief, so grief just shut me down. Yeah. But I remember what she said to me in that hospital room when it was just the two of us. And she never came out and said, "I'm leaving you," because she knew I probably wasn't going to be able to handle those words.
Yeah.
But she says, "I want you to do this. I want you to do that. I want you to," and her words that she spoke that said, "I want you to do," translated to me as, "I'm not going to be here with you. And there are things I don't want you to do." And one of the things that and all of those were seeds, just like your parents sowed into you. What she sowed into me, I would remember when I got older, and I would enact on it. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like I'm here, is because she always wanted me not to be afraid to take a step.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I could talk to you forever. You're going to have to come back.
I would love to.
You're going to have to come back after
I would
the
love
book.
to.
Well, on February the 14th is the book release.
Yes.
It's a Valentine's Day book release, February 14th. That's, just a little over 30 days away.
And I'm telling all my friends, Facebook friends, relatives.
Yes. We're going to send it
family.
To you. Share. We're going to blitz you with information.
Church members.
All church members, bishops, everybody. Tell them to get the book. It will be available on Amazon February 14th. And then I'm having a book signing on February the 18th. Here in Durham. And that's coming on out. Just come out. We're going to have a great time. I'm excited. I'm not a person who hides my excitement. When I'm excited, I'm excited. Mm-hmm. And I think that the Lord has shown me something that he's going to do really great things for those other people who will also be obedient. And maybe if I could light that, fire for other people, then I definitely am willing to do so. Is this taking me out of my comfort zone? Pretty much, yes. But when the Lord gets ready to use us, David,
absolutely,
he will take us out of our comfort zones.
Absolutely.
And if we just stay focused on him, and be obedient,
absolutely,
he's going to do and say the things to us, the way he said to Joshua, just be strong.
Right.
And be courageous.
Yep.
And then everything is going to work out just fine. So I'm excited. I would like people to come back after the book's been released. You have a little bit of an edge on everybody because you know things. But I want you to come back and then just kind of talk to us a little bit more. You've been a great conversationalist. We're just talking and sharing, and we need more of this. Yeah. We need more of this. Is there anything that you want to ask me? Are there any questions? I read your post, by the way, and I thought it was good. But I always give a person an opportunity to ask me a question if they need to.
I just had a couple of questions. They're not groundbreaking.
Oh, that's fine.
You mentioned earlier you were rehearsing Is this the Obie family?
No, this is my church.
Your church family?
No, yeah. I finally decided to start singing again on the praise team.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah. So I'm doing that. You know, I'd stopped singing for a while.
Yeah.
And then decided that I missed it and it was a part of my life that I needed.
Yeah.
So I'm back.
And the last question I have for you, Dr. Paula Obie. What does a Y?
Y is actually Y vet.
Y vet?
Yes. Y vet. It is Y vet. And it's really interesting because one of my teachers said that I was mispronouncing my name.
Yeah.
That it should be pronounced Yvette.
That's what I thought. It might be.
I went home and told my mother that. This is before. And she politely drove me to school the very next day.
Oh no, she did.
Walked into and asked me to stay outside the classroom. We got there early. She walked in and had a little discussion with the teacher.
Uh-huh.
And from that moment on, I had no problems pronouncing my name as Yvette because she told her I named her.
I named that child. I named that child.
So yeah, but that's that's me. I'm excited. Right. So
okay.
Part of this is me celebrating because I didn't get to celebrate when I became Dr. Obie. There was so much going on. Uh-huh. So part of this is kind of tying into where I become. Remember what my mother said a long time ago, planted the seed, and I'm here because the seed grew.
Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you for three things. First of all, thank you for this opportunity to come on and get out of my comfort zone in an area that I probably need to get out of anyway. So thank you for that. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to know you a little better through your writings. Mm-hmm, like I said, that short story was a first an eye opener. I said, I get Paula now. I get
personal.
Paula.
It was very personal.
I get, and the last thing that I want to thank you most of all, bringing back to the memories, and that's gonna be a whole recording right there when I tell you the things that you brought back, concerning Polly and how we got together.
I wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I know it's getting late, and I promise not to do long. But I wanted to just talk about one section of the book.
I'll tell you one in particular.
Uh-huh.
One in particular. The section of the book where Douglas and Adria talking. He knows she likes Bryson. Mm-hmm. And guess what this friend who loves her himself does? He says, go after her. You make the first move. Guess what Polly did? She had a friend, wasn't a male, but it was a female. She took and she was having, we were having feelings for each other, mm-hmm. But it was the friend who encouraged her to make the first move. She did, and she almost backed out of it. She put a letter on my piano the Wednesday night of first service, and then walked up, retrieved the letter back. Her friend took the letter out of her hand, put it back on the piano for me to read, and baby girl, the rest is history.
The rest is history. And that, when you said that, and I went back and reread that chapter, I thought David probably is going, okay, my girl is still alive.
I tell you, very much so.
Very much so. I am really proud of you. And I'm listening and waiting to hear more from you. I'm going to connect you, of course, with the Authors Up folks. I think that they would love to read some of what you're writing.
I've been watching. I had watched. Well, when you started showing me the introduced me to that show, and those some nice folks. There's some nice folks. I love the interplay they have with one another. Mm-hmm, you can tell that they're good friends.
And Christian women.
Yeah.
Love God, but honor the gifting that He's given.
Yeah.
Which is a great gift of excellence. Well, David, thank you. I promise not to take up too much of your time. I know we've gone over, but we have had a great chat. Have you enjoyed your chat?
I have definitely enjoyed it.
And we definitely are going to be talking again soon, because we have to do some, what I call post conversations, even if it means that we sit back and pick it apart, the chapters, and talk about how it relates to us and bring some other people in. Let's use this opportunity to really, really allow God to do a great thing through his gift.
You know, the great thing about that is, I know you meant this book to be an autobiography. I also know it turned out to be a work of fiction. But and what you're saying, it's going to end up being a great textbook for Christian relationships of all kinds, not just the romance part, but the family bonding, getting back.
Yes. I'm excited. I think when we're obedient, God just blows our mind. I'm in awe.
Yes, it does.
I'm just in awe of God. So I can't wait to come back and let's talk. Let's talk about families. Let's talk about all these things, and let's use this platform. And I see more than one book, but I see this even turning into something that can be rewritten as a manual, like a women's ministry or a type of manual. So
absolutely.
That follow along. I think we're going to let God do what God wants to do. How about that, David? We're going to take the brakes off.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Sounds good to me too. Well, everybody, I'm so happy that we were able to sit down and have a chat with my friend, David. We call him Maestro David. And we're going to be talking to him really soon. I just appreciate you. I want you to have a great evening. Know that God loves you, and what he gave you, he gave it to you to share. Okay, David? All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good night.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.